Hey there, YouTube. It's Chris here again. Just a quick update on some of the stuff I've been working on today. I've been painting these guys all day just to, put a small layer on or a thin layer and then work my way up to a glossy coat. I'm hand painting every one of them. Obviously, I still got to do the headlights, the grills, the bumpers, and all that stuff, but this is pretty much what we got done so far. On these, I'm trying to get the whole fleet painted. I'm using different colors. I'm using like testers for the cab paint and stuff like that, and I wanted metallics. I sprayed them all black first so I can get in all the details and stuff. The shadows where it needs to be so it doesn't look like plastic. There's still a lot of little touch-ups. This one over here got a little bit of yellow on the paint. And I've got to kind of like either try to get that off of there or repaint that cab a little bit. I've also, let me turn this around. I got the mud flaps done. I did the tail lights on that. And I do have an air brush. I got a pump and I've got the actual airbrush tool or the paint gun, but I don't have the air line and I haven't really messed with it much. The next round of trucks I get, I might give that a shot. It might look a little bit better, but for now, I'm just doing this by hand to kind of like, I guess, get better at painting skills. Details, and I use a magnifying glass to get to them. You can see that one's still dry and there's still little brush strokes. It should bleed out, but see, there's some details I got to get underneath behind the horns and all that stuff. I've got to paint the horns, paint the lights and all that, and use a magnifying glass. I got to paint the visor, the wiper blades, stuff like that, and I use my regular old man reading glasses plus a magnifying glass at the same time, and it's, it sucks getting old, but that's what it is. You might ask why this guy has a blue frame. Well, now it may not be accurate, but I am going to paint that up to look like Optimus Prime. It's a Freightliner, or it's either a Freightliner or a P. But it's turned out really well. You can see the shine on that. I got to touch it up, but that's fairly dry on the top. I got to put the gray stripe across. I always like putting these little nods to things from the 80s in there. I have a DeLorean. Obviously, if I put the Jaws in, that's 1975's Jaws. But I like the 70s and 80s shows, and I just put these little nods in where they're little subtle cues here and there. I still got to paint the tires on them. I got the wheels painted and all that, but I even painted the hose assembly underneath, even though you'll never see it. I know it's there, so some details I don't care about, some I just do while I got the color out while I'm painting. Sorry for the shakiness. Yeah, so that's that on that, and let me take you over to the layout and show you what I got done today. What I did today is I kind of got my trailer park set how I wanted it. It's still in a drying phase. I think it looks fairly good. I've got to put I made the room over there for the third trailer over there. Want to get it, I got the picnic table in, I got the trash in. There's some other stuff. I got to put the water spigots in for them and stuff like that, but I still got to paint the road yet, but I'm waiting to go ahead and I need to put the green in here. I need to, in beside the road and fill it up to where it looks somewhat appropriate. Speaking of the 80s thing, there's our DeLorean. You can see the resin print on it. If you guys resin print, I'm telling you, if you can print some of those 80s iconic things, I think a lot of people would buy them. I like to make them subtle so you don't really notice it unless you think about it. I've got to get my parking lot put in there, and I think what I'm going to do, okay, so I know the road's not wide enough for it, but this represents a one-way street, so all the cars go this way. So that's how I negated that. It's not a two-way street. Now what I'm going to do is when I come over here and I go to put the road in to connect, it's actually going to Y out. So the other direction will go over that way and off the layout. And then I'll make this wide like I need to. Here's the refinery. It's all dry now. Looks pretty good. Susan's over there. She couldn't make it to the porta potty. That's right over there. So that's what that is. There's another one of my trucks painted. I hand painted that one too. I still got to do my trailers that are in the back over here. And I still got a lot of little stuff to do. I didn't do a whole lot today. I think once I get my parking lot figured out over here, how I'm gonna, what I'm gonna do, I think I'm gonna use the foam road bed or a sheet of foam, and that's the same thickness, and I'm gonna put it underneath there because if you look at the semis, they're not quite up to the dock door, so that gives me space in the parking lot to bring that up to lift them up. So when I get that done, I think I'm going to go ahead and start trying to work on the area when I get to there. I really think the next round of stuff really is the farm. If I can do this in between, I will. Real quick, I want to jump in and show you some of the other details. I know I showed you this Wednesday or Thursday. I think it's Thursday I showed it to you, but this is the kind of finished product on this side. I think you've seen that part, but here's the front. Some of this is probably going to get filled in by ballast because it's so close to the edge, so I'm not that concerned about that. I put some more foliage down here. I got the corners kind of done. I put some bears. You got baby bear scratching on the pole or the tree, and you got another one sitting there, and you got mama bear just chilling. I got this kind of done through here, and I think I got some more. There's some more bears there. I got them kind of put in. I haven't done the base scenery back here. The reason why is because I'm gonna have to ballast this track back here, and I don't want that glued down where I can't move it to get access to that corner to finish that. I'm actually gonna put in quite a few more probably pine trees and stuff back in there. And then I've got to get my ballast and finish painting my road out here and get all this in for the coal mine. So it's kind of going to be like one of those one-shot deals. I'm going to try to do it all in one shot. I got to paint these two guys right here. I got to paint that up. Probably cut that down some too. It's a little bit too big for the area it's working in. But yeah, I've got to finish up quite a few little things, and I kind of want to do it all in one big shot, so I'm actually 100% complete with this except for some lights. I've got to restring some telephone poles. That was a mess. There's one there, one there. I'll do that before I put the base scenery in. So it's kind of a little bit of stuff. I've got telephone poles there to restring. They're going in there before I put the ballast in. And like I said, I'm going to do that all in one shot. I have not went and purchased the ballast I want yet because I've been trying to recoup from the train show. I'm just using what I have on hand right now. And so that's almost the completed scene there, and I just wanted to throw that in as a quick update on that. I think it looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. Maybe a couple more bushes. I think I'm going to get some stuff from AK and throw some other stuff in there, here and there. I like to cut trees, the trees that fall down, all that stuff. So, but that's that on that section. Let's take you back over to the farm. This is a pretty good size space for a farm. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put either a cornfield or a wheat field back here where it goes up to the wall. I'm going to put a combine probably in there where it looks like some of it's cut down, like it's going and cutting it. I'm going to have some livestock in certain areas. I might even have a spot here where like a ramp where we could run livestock up into a cattle car. So like the farmer is selling it, he's right by the railroad, he's got a big area, and we'll have probably cattle cars there or something like that. We're gonna have our cows, horses, and sheep all around in here. I think I don't know if I can do this or not, but I'm gonna take some foam and make it like a rolling hill that comes up a little bit. Put some trees in the background to blend in with this, and try to blend in somewhat here. So, I've got this little guy is cool. I got that at the show. It's already painted, but it's metal. Someone already put it together for me. I could have done it, could have got the kit, but I got it cheap. I think it was like $1 or $2. So I'm going to use that house. I've actually got my lights in there ready to go, so we'll light it up. One thing I was thinking about that though is the bi-level. I'm really thinking about putting a sheet of big boy they're acting up. I really think I'm going to put a sheet of maybe like a second floor. So I'll put another lights on the bottom, and then Woodland Scenics makes this little trick where the lights turn off and on. If I can section this off and maybe even put 2 or 3 lights in here to make it look like the bedroom light's going off once in a while, or a front room light or something like that, I think I'm going to try to do that. I might have to pop the roof off. I might have to do something, take it apart, but either way, I think I can do it, and I'm going to give that an attempt at some point before I put it down on layout permanent. Yeah, so I've got to find a cornfield that's 3D printed, something or other, and try to do that. And then I'm going to work this scene first back here, kind of like I did on the lumber yard. And I want to get the back done first and then work my way forward. Once I get that done, I'm going to work on this and put some roads in for this, and maybe I'll put a road that goes across and in front of the farm, or swings out in front of the farm just a bit and then goes on down. It's like an old country road, and it'll go down beside the track all the way down and out, and then we'll have the cornfield and all that, and then maybe some fence rows and stuff, and try to make it look like that. I still got to do some painting and all this, and I'm not even 100% sure this can stay here. It might even I might downsize it a bit too, because thinking about that, if I got all that detail back there in the back, I won't see that with there. So I might cut it down to something like that. I might even take it out altogether. I might incorporate it somewhere else. So, but I'll work the scene as I go, and I'll usually place things and then look at it for a day or two and see, like, okay, does this fit? Is this what I want? And then go from there. Obviously I got to put some lights in. I got to put lights in the farm and all that stuff, but that's a whole new lighting kit and all that stuff, and all that will take time. But for the most part, I'm going to get all the scenes in and just sitting there, maybe even painted, and then I'll put my base turf down. and I've got the fine turf to put down here, so you know, because it's more of like a manicured area farm. You know, they farm it. Probably some of that will be manicured around here because I'm sure they got maintenance to do it. This will be more of like the less maintained side of the track, so it'll be that thicker stuff like I did over by the coal mine. I still got to run like a power pole piece from there and all that stuff. This is just sitting up there temporary. But we just got to work the scene as how it looks, little by little from the back to the front. And I know I'm doing stuff on the bottom, and I'm kind of doing backwards on it. I should be working on the back to the front, but I mean, I just bounce around. Okay. But you know, if you guys like what you see, like, share, subscribe, and when we get more done, we will catch you on the next video.